Howdy, hobby friends. Recently, sparked on by some speculation that they are returning, the cast of Firefly, I rewatched the original series and got just as angry as probably you did when you realise you get to the end of the series and there's just no more. So I decided to knock together a space cowboy crew of my very own. Follow on to see how I knocked together the first four with a bit of kit bashing. Now remember folks, I am not a golden demon painter, so be kind. Otherwise, see how I did it. Kaylee was definitely the one that was the easiest, starting off with her to get my mojo going. I used the body from the Crew 2 sprue, which is North Star Stargrave crew. The head was from Mercenaries 2 sprue, I think it was. And then the mechanic's little wrench in the back there, that just came from the Crew 1 sprue. Complete with grey overalls, the teddy bear and the flowers on the back, I think this makes a pretty good Kaylee. She's got a revolver that could be used for a stub gun for Necromunda and a knife, ready to go. Now it's time for Inara. I had to think long and hard about this. How do I make an elegant space companion, as it were? I used some bits and bobs from the Dead Man's Hand Gunfighters 2 sprue, which is the ladies, as it were. Made a sword out of a pin and the handle from a hand weapon of some description, and then shaved down a las pistol to make it more of the elegant ladies' weapon. I think the effect came off quite convincingly. Let me know down below what you think too. Now for the sheer badass that is Zoe. I started off with some lovely legs from the Gunfighters 2 sprue. I then used a lever action firearm from one of the Gunfighters sprues too, and I shaved it and cut it down to make it like the mare's leg that she famously carries in 4570. I envisaged this could be used as either a bolt gun or a shotgun or a pistol in gameplay. Adding to her a little cell phone so she can call Wash for help, and an assault rifle, and I think it completes the deal. How would you play the mare's leg 4570 in your skirmish game? For Wash, I used the body from the Stargrave Crew 1 set, and then I got some arms which worked really well with the scale from the hybrid neophytes, the Gene Stealers cult, as it were, using the shotgun and then an arm holding some dynamite. I felt this made a good surrogate for a grenade. And then I used the bouffant hair, as it were, from the Underhive Scum set from Necromunda. I did, though, realise that was bald, so I used some sprue goo to stipple on a bit of hair at the back of a stiff brush, and I think he turned out cracker, along with his pet rat there. My thoughts on Wash is I envisage him, hanging back at the ship, as it were, with a shotgun and some sticks of dynamite, just holding the fort and keeping the enemies at bay, as it were, while the other crew are out to their shenanigans. It's one of the things I really love about skirmish games is the storytelling aspect and the way that you can really get in tune with your characters, your little figures running around the board, not just some nameless guardsman fed to the slaughter, as it were. Now I had my intrepid crew members, I had to paint them. Now I'm definitely not a painting channel, just a get it done kind of channel guy, as it were, and I just used some basic techniques. Simple Zandy Dust and a bit of zenithaling with a dry brush, as it were, to help me. I like to use a combination of different techniques. I used some contrast paints, I used some just basic layering paints, as it were, and highlights. I'm a big fan of acrylic markers. I think they're great for little things like here I was painting a flower on Kaylee's back, or a teddy bear on a leg, things like that. It's cracker for, I tend to find. Following all that, of course, just some basic, Gilliman flesh tone, and then you can build up from that with a few things. Just, keep it simple, guys. Just get them painted. You got to remember, your opponent will appreciate the fact that they are painted and not grey, and they really won't care how good a job you do it. It's just on the table. They will always appreciate that. For basing, I did some simple industrial bases that are pretty quick to put together. I've got a video down below which will show you how I did it. As well as for oils, I just did my Necro Sponge oil wash. I love oil washes. I love acrylic washes too. And you guys, if you haven't made your own washes, you should definitely give it a go. I've got a couple of videos on how you can make Necro Sponge yourself, so please feel free to look them up. I might even put the link down below as well. There you go, hobby friends. Let me know what you think down below. Have you done the same thing yourself? And what games could you use them in? I'm thinking that in the next episode or two, depending on parts coming in the mail, I shall be able to knock together Shepard, Jane, of course, Mal, River, who else is there? Oh, and Simon, the medic, of course. I should be able to knock them together shortly. And I'm also thinking I'm going to put together a mule, the little transport they use in a couple of episodes, as well as a shuttle from Serenity. I've got an idea for that. I think MS Paints has done something very similar. Anyways, hobby friends, don't forget to like and subscribe and comment down below, especially if you have an idea as to why, despite 3 coats of Matte Vallejo matte varnish, these still have a bit of a shine to them. I did gloss them once for the oil wash, but they just seem to stay shiny. Anyways, till next time, hobby friends.